Hi guys, and welcome to my latest project. Right now you are watching me on my new ground station. I built this because I was tired of putting the goggles on and off when you're trying to do testing on the test bench and when you're out flying and people want to see what you see. I didn't have any good ways of showing them. I didn't have any ways of showing them because I just had my FPV goggles. So, with a couple pieces I had laying around the shop, which include the monitor you were just watching, a LaForge receiver with the diversity module, a 3S LiPo battery, and my 3D printer to print the plastic parts, I figured I could put something together that allowed me to see what the camera sees on the workbench when I'm working on it and be able to hand it to people and let them watch what I'm seeing on my goggles. We're gonna jump back a couple days ago where I started the project. I hope you enjoy. Alright, now that we have all of the electronics together, I can start working on getting them into a small package. This is the monitor I'm using. So on the back I have a couple holes that are 4mm, and I figured we could use those to mount the box that I've 3D printed. The first piece is the base. It has a hole in the side for the audio-visual cable. It has a hole on the other side for the battery plug. It has two holes lined up for the 4mm holes to fasten them to the back. And then it has two crosses to hold the LaForge and the diversity module in place against the front face. And there's just a little protective cover over the plug so that it doesn't get damaged. And then on the front of that is the front face. On one side there will be the screen and the buttons. The buttons are, if you can see there, 3 different buttons that you can use. They have a thin section printed so that they can bend easily, and they just press against the 3 buttons on the LaForge module. On the other side is the diversity module. Has a couple braces to hold it in the right position. So that just goes like that. I'm going to connect the 2 modules via the wire and then hot glue them into place. I'll glue the 5-volt regulator just in the middle. One thing that I probably should do, since the signal and the power cables will be connected to the LaForge, and that's attached to the front, and the plug, power, and the cables run through the main box. I'm probably going to have to come up with some kind of like quick disconnect plug so that when I have to take this apart, this is free to work on and I'm not running on short wires or anything like that. And I can have shorter wires inside so I don't have to have a huge mess of wires inside this box. I think that's what we'll start working on now. We will see what we come up with. Ooh, I have a ground, power, audio left, audio right, camera. So that's 5. a 6S battery lead, and I have the matching plugs. There you go. I can solder the pigtails to the LaForge. That's what soldering looks like. And then I can solder all of the loose wires here. So there we go. Got that part solved. So let's get into that. Alright, here is the finished project. Let me grab a battery and plug it in. So there's the LaForge load up screen, power on the front. I don't have the transmitter on, so you're not going to see anything. On the back here, you can barely see the three U shapes. Those are in line with the buttons. You can press them. I'm using tweezers just to make it easier, but you can use your fingers. They're easy to press. But you can scroll through your channels, hold down to change the band, get into your menu. On this side you have your circular antenna, and on this side you have your directional antenna. it's kind of pointed up at an angle. When people are holding it, they kind of, it's out in that direction, they can point it. So yeah, it came out really well. I'm happy with how everything turned out. The last thing I need to figure out is what to do with the battery pack. I didn't really make any spot to hold the battery because I wasn't quite sure how long these batteries would last. This is only 1000 milliamp battery. I don't know what the amp draw on them. So I'll probably need to connect this up to my power supply, run 12 volts through it, and see what the amp draw is, and then I can size the battery correctly to get a decent life, and then figure out a way to attach it, probably with these 2 remaining mounting holes back here. But yeah, that's it. And now that that's done, I can work on my next project, which is rebuilding my quad, because I dropped it in a puddle in front of the flight controller. So I'm going to get to putting that together now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next project. Bye.